guys, welcome back to Kelsey's Kitchen. Today we are going to be making a milk replacement. We're going to be showing you how to make homemade nut milk. This is a great recipe to use in other recipes in place of milk, and I'm going to be showing you a couple different versions of it. So yeah, let's jump right in. What we are going to need today is about 2 cups or 2.5 cups of raw soaked almonds. You're going to need 2 young coconuts, or the water from 2 young coconuts. Now this is optional, you can use regular water, but the coconut water does add some additional benefits. Coconut water is very, very high in potassium, and potassium is critical for our cells to be able to cleanse regularly. So I'm using this raw coconut water from these young coconuts in my recipe. Like I said, it is optional and you can use regular water if you like. We also have dates here. Now I probably won't be adding them in because it will be sweet enough with just the young coconut water. But if you are using regular water, you can add some dates in as a sweetener. And if you don't want to add dates into your recipe because they're too much sugar for yourself or for your family, you can always just put water or the coconut water and a little bit of this vanilla cream stevia. And then you're going to need a strainer, a nut milk bag, a high-powered blender. I have a Vitamix right here, and then some other water to pour in with your coconut water. So we're going to jump right in, and because I don't have a sink right now, I'm going to just strain my almonds. They were soaking overnight, and you want to make sure to either buy soaked or sprouted almonds or soak them yourself. Almonds have an enzyme inhibitor over them, and that actually is good. God put it there so that bugs and insects wouldn't go ahead and eat the almond, and it would be a protector for the almond. But what it does for us is when we eat a lot of raw, unsprouted, unsoaked almonds, you'll notice if you eat too much, you might get a little gassy, or your digestive system might kind of be messed up a little bit because they are hard to digest without sprouting or soaking them. So I always soak my nuts and my seeds because I find that it's so much easier to absorb. You can see here you have all of those anti-nutrients in this water, and you don't want to use that water again. You definitely want to discard that. So I'm going to go ahead and pour my almonds in my Vitamix, and you can use other nuts. I always like to use almonds as a base for this, but you can add in pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds have a lot of omega-3s, so that can help actually offset the omega-6 and the omega-9 and give your body some omega-3s in this recipe, since it is critical to have a proper ratio of omega-6s to omega-3s. Omega-6 fatty acids are inflammatory, and God obviously knew that we needed to have some of these inflammatory fatty acids because when you cut yourself or you have an injury, there is that natural inflammation that is needed for the healing process. But what happens is in our culture today, in America especially, we get way too many omega-6 fatty acids, and that does lead to a lot of inflammation that is really unnecessary in our body. So we really want to focus on getting those anti-inflammatory fatty acids like the omega-3s into our diets. So if you do want to put some of the pumpkin seeds in this recipe, you can certainly do so. Another source of high omega-3 seed or nut, it would be a chia seed, and you could add some of that into this recipe as well as an option. So we've added the almonds. I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this coconut water in, and I always like to get raw coconut water, or better yet, just buy your young raw coconuts and get the water from there. Because when you buy coconut water that does not say it's raw at the store, many times, many different brands, they actually have added ingredients, and then if they don't have added ingredients, they are pasteurized. So you want to be able to get the raw, untouched form of coconut water because that will give you all the nutrients that the coconut water has to offer, and that's what we're about, optimal health and optimizing your nutrition. I'm going to also add in some regular filtered water. And just to give you some measurements, There's about, probably, now that I'm looking at it, probably about 3 cups of almonds. I said 2 in the beginning. There's probably about 3 cups of almonds in this recipe. And you want it, I personally love my almond milk really rich and creamy. So you want to do like 3 cups of almonds or other nuts to 3 cups of coconut water, or 1.5 cup of coconut water and 1.5 cup of regular water. It just depends on what you want. You can do all coconut water. You can do just like we said before, just all regular water. It's really up to you. Yeah, and this is it. And then you go ahead and you blend it in a blender. And so I'm going to go ahead and blend it in the blender, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, so we are back, and I just blended this all up. As you can see here, it's really thick and creamy. And we're going to strain it through our nut milk bag. Now you can get these really anywhere. Whole Foods, I know, definitely sells them. I think I ordered mine off of Amazon, and they are cheaper on Amazon, and so they're fairly inexpensive, and they're great for obviously nut milk, but you can also use them if you want to, if you don't have a juicer, you can also blend up all your veggies in the Vitamix, and then strain it through here, and you can have fresh raw juice that way too. So I am going to pour it through here. And you don't have to have a strainer, but it does help because this process can take a few minutes. So it helps to have that strainer in place here. And so I've tightened the bag, and I am just squeezing all of the milk out of here. So we're gonna pour it in the cup right here, and see how thick and creamy that is. Oh my goodness, delicious. It's even better than any nut milk that you could buy at the store, any regular milk that you're used to. It is the best. And we're just gonna sprinkle a little cinnamon on top, or nutmeg, whatever you prefer. And there you have it, your almond milk. Cool. There you have it. Almond milk is already made, and it's all ready for you to enjoy and create recipes with. What I have here is the pulp, and some ideas that you can use the pulp for, because we wouldn't want to waste any ingredients, is you can actually make little power balls by adding some maybe coconut butter to this, and a little raw cacao, some cinnamon, and roll them up with in balls, freeze them in the freezer, and you have power balls. You can add a little bit of Garden of Life raw protein, or an undenatured whey protein that you have, and you can make them protein balls. You can add them to even cookie recipes. Like, it's not necessarily the consistency of a nut butter quite. It's a little bit drier than that, but if you add a little oil to it, it can be like a raw nut butter replacement. So you can do a lot of things with the pulp. Sometimes I just freeze it, and when I want to take it out and make a recipe with nut butter, I'll use that sometimes. You can make my fudge cups, and instead of using nut butter, you can use the pulp from the almonds. There you have it. So easy. I mean, it takes probably 10 minutes to from start to finish to make the almond milk. It's fantastic, and it's so much healthier for you than the ones that you buy at the store. The ones that you buy at the store have carrageenan and xanthan gum and so many added ingredients, and many of them do have added sugar. So you wouldn't want to be purchasing almond milk or any kind of nut or seed milks at the store, because they do have those added ingredients in them, and carrageenan is actually carcinogenic. So you want to stay completely away from any of the nut or seed milk at the store. Another thing that's really kind of toxic and bad about the nut milk at the store is the fact that they pasteurize them. And when you heat the almonds, or really any nut, it actually becomes rancid. The fatty acids in nuts and seeds are not meant to be heated. So we want to make sure that we always consume our nuts and our seeds raw, in a raw form, and this is a perfect way to do it. If you would like to make this an unsweetened recipe and use it in place of regular milk, instead of using coconut water or even regular water, you can use cultured whey, and we can do another video showing you how to make that version. But really, you just take out the dates and the vanilla and the coconut water, and you add the cultured whey instead of those things. Blend it up, and you have the same process, and you have the same finished product, only it's not sweet, and it is a little bit more tart because of the cultured whey, but it's a great recipe to use instead of regular milk in your cooking, or you know, if you just want an unsweetened version of this. So go ahead, enjoy this recipe, comment below, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for being here in my kitchen with me.